can see, welcome. And hopefully you guys are having a great week. As you guys can see, we are identical twins. You are seeing double. They used to call us the Doublemint twins, but now they call us the dynamic duo. But we actually, our huge caterpillar eyebrows are taking up these little screens on Zoom. So bear with us. But I don't want to make this about us with our background and kind of like our credentials. But we've been health and fitness coaches for over 13 years. So we started off as personal trainers, got into the online space around 2010, did very well with our first business in 2011 called Dynamic Duo Training, where we helped and served thousands of clients to help them with custom tailored exercise and nutrition programs and transformations. And after that, we kind of wanted to pivot and do B2B coaching, got really fascinated with online marketing, content marketing, building businesses. And we saw that need for health and fitness coaches to have business coaches and to really expedite and save them time, energy, heartache from the mistakes that we made when we built a business. So 4 years ago, we started our business, Dynamic Fit Pros, and that is currently what we're doing. We have a great podcast, I think, but I might be biased, but had some great pioneers on, big names in the entrepreneurial space, and we're 450 episodes in. So yeah, I think that's a nice little intro of who we are.
Absolutely. And Celeste, just really quick, with the chat, we just like to make this a little bit interactive. So if you guys can put in the chat an exclamation mark, that will let me know you guys are kind of there, the attendees. And if not, totally fine. We can just roll through it. Yeah.
And I actually just dropped the worksheet for you guys if you guys want to go ahead and download that.
Okay. Are you seeing, Eric, the exclamations or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, I had the wrong chat open. Okay, cool, guys. Let's get into this. So what we're going to teach today is creating an online brand and using content to gain attention. And really, like the biggest thing about this is this word right here, attention. Okay, because we are basically in a time right now where attention equals eyeballs. Attention equals getting traffic to your guys' brand, and that's just the name of the game. How do we get more attention on our online brand and our business, our service, our product, whatever it is that we kind of have to offer? But we have to get attention on there, and we're going to teach you guys how to do that through content creation. Okay,
Chris, really quick, can you please write the acronym KLT? That will set the tone for this, and you guys can write this down as well too. It just stands for know, like, and trust, or know, love, and trust. And really what we're trying to do here when we're building an online brand and business is, how do we get people to know, like, and trust us? How do we turn a stranger to a friend to a buyer? And we do that through compelling, valuable content where we're showcasing our expertise. We're being real. We're showing our connections. We're showing what interests us. We're talking about our story. That's how we're doing that. So I just wanted to set the tone with just that know, like, and trust factor, because it's super important.
Absolutely. Okay. So if we look at this 3-step digital brand formula, right, in the middle is basically your brand, and we'll call it your business as well too, that you're doing. So the very first step with this is you have to have an audience, guys. Without an audience, we're not going to really have like a brand or a business or anything like that to sell, right? So within this audience, what you guys want to really focus on is your avatar and niche. Okay. So again, when people start a business, they go too broad, right? We like to start off kind of like dominating a category, right? Which is an avatar or niche. Then we like to go broad after that. Okay. So all depends on what your business is, but I'll give you guys an example since we help out health and fitness coaches, right? Them dialing into like, helping out busy professionals or helping out like moms that just like, had a baby or something like that. That's a niche. That's an avatar to really dial into, right? After that, we got to find our 100 perfect people. Again, we don't need millions of people right off the bat. We don't need thousands of people right off the bat. We just need about 100 perfect people. And I always like to say, just imagine you guys are in an auditorium or gymnasium, and there's 100 perfect people that are your avatar and niche and your buyers inside there, and you have their full attention. Okay. So think about it like that. The next thing is we want to get into messaging. Okay. So with the messaging, there's really 2 big parts, is the psychology, right? And the psychology is basically the psychology of your prospect. Okay. We got to get into their minds. We got to know exactly like what they're feeling right now, their pains, their frustrations, their wants, their desires, right? Also too, it's just like, where are they at currently right now in their journey, whatever it is, right? The next thing is communication. Okay. So within communication, this is going to be like, in your marketing messages, like your headlines, right? Your features, your benefits, right? And then your offers. We got to understand all this type of stuff with the messaging, and this messaging has to match the audience right here. Okay. If it's completely off, then you're not going to get anybody's attention, because people are going to be like, who is he speaking to? You know what I mean? After that, we go into the offer. Okay. So with your offer, again, it has to match like the audience. It has to match with the messaging in there. And you have to have what we call just a no-brainer, irresistible offer to be able to sell to people, right? And help them out. So guys, really quick in the chat, if we kind of mark this up as, 1, 2, 3, what do you feel like you need most help with right now in your guys' brand and business? Is the audience number 1, messaging number 2, or is it the offer number 3?
Jeremy, you said 3.
So
3.
3. We got some shy people on.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I think so. Everybody's waiting to see what everyone else is going to say.
Let's move it along, right? Okay, so after that, you guys understand kind of like, those 3 areas that we need to build a brand. Now that we have that, there's 3 sources of traffic that you guys can attract to your guys' brand, okay? The very first one is basically you guys can, buy traffic. So that's just think about Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, anything that you guys can like buy as far as like advertisement and push the attention onto your brand. You guys can do that, okay? The next one is what we call JV, and then partnering, and then affiliates. This is basically you're borrowing people's traffic. Okay. So basically you guys can go and have like a podcast and then have, guests on there that you think have your audience, and then they can share it out to their audience. And then that traffic comes to you. So you're borrowing people, right? You can have affiliates to your guys' products and stuff like that as well too. You guys can partner with people. That's a great way to actually borrow the traffic instead of actually buy the traffic. What we're going to talk about today is creating your traffic. And with that, that's going to be through organic content. Okay. So that's where we're going to go really deep into this and roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty, teach you guys some really cool tactics on what's going on with content right now. All right. Let me get into the 5 phases of content marketing real quick, because this is super important. You guys understand these 5 phases. Okay.
Really quick, Chris, do you think it'd be useful if I just talked about like the different like reframing mindsets before doing content creation?
Oh yeah, actually it's not even on here, but
yeah, no worries. No worries. And that's why I wanted to catch that. So something that's really important that we emphasize to our students in our programs that are starting off is to really, you have to reframe your mindset when it comes to, content creation. That the first thing is, right, you are the content producer, not the consumer. And again, a lot of people waste their time on this phone, scrolling on different platforms, and they just go down different rabbit holes. And a lot of that causes paralysis by overanalysis, and it's just too much overthinking, because then the comparison syndrome and the imposter syndrome overtakes everything. So again, we have to go into this as I am a content producer, not a consumer. The second way we have to reframe our mind is this is business media, not social media. If you have a business, if you have an online brand, treat it that way. Don't sit there and be like everybody else. Again, don't get caught up into like all the emotions of what's going on about, comments, politics, the recession, all that stuff that's going on. Those are your uncontrollables. Focus on your controllables, right? Your thoughts, your attitudes, and your actions of you showing up and being a great content producer and helping and serving people and educating them.
Yeah. I'd like to know, guys, in the chat, like which one is it right now that you guys have, maybe trouble with when it comes to content? Is it number 1 that you kind of look at yourself as a content consumer, or number 2, you look at it more as like social media rather than business media?
Yep. 2. Yeah. I see 1s and I see 2s. Okay, good. Okay.
All right, let's get on to the 5 phases of content marketing. Then we'll get into some tactical stuff you guys can apply into your guys' social media. So the very first phase is basically pick one channel and post something. Okay. So again, just don't make it super hard for yourself. Like literally don't sit there and think that like you have to be on every single, social media channel right off the bat. Like literally dominate one social media channel and just get really good at posting stuff. So that's the first step. Let's just say that you choose Instagram. That's your one channel and you just post something. That's it. So we can just build a little bit of traction and momentum. Okay. Now, the second thing is we post consistently. Sorry for my 3rd grader handwriting, but you post something consistent. Okay? So let's just say, again, we picked Instagram as that's the channel we like to post content on and dominate on. Okay, cool. Let's just post consistently. And whether that's like maybe a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. Doesn't have to be 7 days a week when you're just first starting off, but treat it like a TV show where people are anticipating, your audience is anticipating you to be able to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday on your guys' social media channel that you choose, okay? The third phase is open more channels and post reliably. Okay. So again, now what we're doing, since we already just, mastered phase 1, phase 2, is we're going to open up another channel. It doesn't have to be 2 or 3 channels, just one channel. So for example, if you mastered Instagram in those first 2 phases, cool. Let's open up Facebook, right? Since they're kind of similar, right? You can repurpose the content on Facebook. And again, we're just going to post reliably on Facebook Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just like we're posting on Instagram and repurposing that content. On step 4, what we're going to do is we're going to increase the posting frequency. Okay, on these 2 channels that we're doing. So Facebook, Instagram. So instead of maybe going Monday, Wednesday, Friday, okay, we're going to go Monday through Friday. We're just going to add 2 more days on there and just increase the posting frequency so we can get in front of our audience a little bit more. Okay. Now, the last one is just kind of next level here is you're just going to be, innovating more on the content and posting on more channels. So cool. Maybe we open up YouTube now. Maybe we open up a podcast. Maybe it's email marketing, right? That's all we're doing though, is just getting more creative, posting more, and just opening up channels. And maybe this is where we hire a team so we can delegate this. Okay. And just really quick, I want you guys to understand what this is. These first 2 phases right here, going back to what Eric said, all you're doing is nurturing your audience and getting people to know, like, and trust you. You're not selling them anything at this point. Once we get to this point right here, phase 3 through 5, that's when we're doing, selling our offers and doing more call to actions. Okay. But you got to get through those phases to be able to get to this point. But this really helps people out and understand, like, okay, when I first start posting content, okay, I don't need to sit there and make a bunch of call to actions or sell my stuff right off the bat. I'm just looking just to nurture people and get in front of people to get to know, like, and trust me. Okay. So let's get into these 7 different tactics, guys. And the worksheet that Eric gave you, you guys can definitely go back. I highly recommend watching the replay. I'm going to kind of zoom through this a little bit fast, but you guys have that worksheet. It's got really good examples on there as well too. Okay. So the very first one that we recommend, and these are basically 7 different types of posts that we found has worked really well for our social media, our students, and we've just have been testing everything out, like in the field of like Facebook and Instagram with these posts. Okay. So the very first one is your connection post. So with the connection, I put a heart here because think about it. What you're going to do is you're going to try to connect with like your audience. Okay. So with some of these different types of posts you can do with connection is you could talk about your story. Everybody has a story, whether they went through an adverse situation or it's like a heroic type of story. Okay. Talk about that though. Everybody likes to connect about different people's stories. Involve your family. It doesn't have to be all the time. You don't have to pull back the entire curtain, but hey, if you have kids or if you have a significant other, show a little bit of things that you guys do on the weekends or some of your guys' like, rituals or values, right? That also brings me to your guys' like values, your core values, your world beliefs, right? You guys can talk about that. And then your mission, this is huge. What's your mission and vision like in your guys' business? Bring people along the journey within that. So that's an example of a connection post. And I'll show you guys right here, this connection style post that I posted on, Instagram, or yeah, it's Instagram, I think. So this was just an example of just, me and my wife when we got married, and I just put a little story in the caption and that's it. And just people love like these type of, connection posts right here, so this is an example. You guys can do the same exact thing. The next one is what's called value. So this is where I put like a money sign. This is the opportunity where you guys can go in there and start talking about your guys' expertise, your knowledge, right? Build your authority a little bit more. So with that, like I said, talk about like your expertise, right? Talk about the methods that you guys use to get people results, your frameworks, how-to content, right? And like an example of what you guys can do too with this value post. So let's just say that you are, a nutrition expert and, you focus on keto diets. You can go get like the top 5 books on, keto diets, and you guys can sit there and do a piece of content on each of like a chapter summary and review. And that could be like a 5-minute video that can be on uploaded to YouTube. Then you can actually transcribe it so that it becomes a caption on Facebook and Instagram. So you guys can repurpose that content on there. Okay. But that's the examples of basically like your value that you're showing people that you could help them get results and get out of pain. The next one is results. So with this, guys, think about before and after pictures, post, right? Think about case studies. Think about screenshots. with client wins. These are all great kind of examples of results, because again, at the end of the day, you can perceive yourself as the expert, the authority, but people want to see, your buyers, your audience want to see that your product works, that your service works, that you actually have a track record of getting people results. And a lot of people say like, hey, I don't really have, that much like social proof, or I haven't been at this very long. So what we tell people is document your own journey with your own services or products and talk about that, bring people along that. So that's a great example. You guys can do that. Okay, so before I give you guys the other 4 tactics, I just want to know in the chat, which one of these is the connection, value, results are you most excited about to test out in your social media? And then Jeremy, I'll get back to your question too, like towards the end. Okay, Jeremy said values, Dr. John, results. Okay, awesome. All right, the next one on here, guys, is what's called transformation posts. Forgot to show you guys the examples. So this is a value-based post right here. So these work really well, like, 5 reasons or, 3 steps or something like that. And that just gives them a really kind of like nice, digestible, tangible type of steps in that caption to be able to try something out that you recommend. And then result style posts right here. This is like a carousel swipe on Instagram where you can put a picture in the very first one. Renato nailed $8,000 months in his online coaching business. Then it's a swipe, just telling a story or a video or something like that. So that's an example of a case study one. Okay, so for the transformation one, these are some of the most powerful ones. So this could be like a mindset shift. It could break a false belief. Because just think about it, guys, everybody, even like your audience and your guys is like, avatar niche, they have like a perceived like kind of notion of, whatever the topic is or whatever it is like kind of like that you do right in your business. And like, I'll use an example. If it's a health and fitness coach, a mindset shift or break, false belief kind of a post they can do is they talk about, hey, it's okay to have carbs at night, right? It's not going to sit there and magically just store body fat and, have you gain a bunch of weight. That's a mindset shift and a false belief kind of breaking post on there because it's not true. And if they have the evidence to back that post up, that's a great kind of post. It's going to be like, wow, that was valuable. I didn't know that, I learned something new today type of thing. Okay. The next one is, controversy. Post some stuff that's like controversial as well too. It doesn't have to be all the time. You don't have to get all crazy with it, but it's okay to stir up a little bit of controversy in your guys' post. And the next one is what we call pains and wants. So this, guys, goes back to the messaging, with the avatar niche. What is their frustrations? What is their fears? What are their current problems? What's their aspirations that they want? What is their goals, right? What do they truly want, like result wise? You have to know all these type of things, their pain points and their wants, and you need to critique that out in social media. Because if you be the person that posts way too much how-to stuff, you're going to just end up just being like every other person who posts a bunch of how-to stuff that people can go Google and YouTube. So put these transformation posts into like work and really understand your avatar niche's pain points and wants. Okay. The next one is a hand raise. So the hand raise leads to convo starters. So conversation starters, right? These can be like text cards on Facebook, those bright text cards on there. They can actually be polls and quizzes on Instagram stories that work really well, or they can be lead magnets. So I'll show you guys an example. So with this is a hand raise post in our free Facebook group, right? Free Stuff Friday. Who would like the top 10 fat loss strategies to use your clients, right? So that got 33 comments on there. So that gives us an opportunity to, number one, actually give them the link for the value, right? And we get them into our funnel. The second thing is that gives us an opportunity to start a conversation with them in the DMs to see if they're, if they're needing help or if they have any problems in there, okay? So these hand raises are super powerful to start the conversations, which lead to conversions. All right, the sixth one is basically your processes, and my base is right there, your processes and milestones. So what this, guys, is think about like a process that you have in your guys' like, service, or either the coaching business or something like that, and how it gets to a milestone. Okay. So people want to see like quick wins. They want you to peel back the curtain and just see how like your process works, how your coaching service works, how your product like looks when people use it. So we want to like really showcase that process and then what it leads to the milestone. So I'll show you an example of this. So when we did health and fitness coaching, we would print out like our training worksheets and our nutrition PDFs, right? And we would sit there and have them physically putting on stories, putting on Facebook and showing people like, this is the process that we use, right? Our training program to get a milestone, have them add 5 pounds of muscle mass, have them add like 20 pounds on their bench press, right? So it's a process that leads to a milestone. So don't be afraid to showcase that type of stuff. It's really powerful. This last one, guys, is recycle and repurpose. Creating content itself is really hard and stressful sometimes. So don't be afraid to go back into like your last week's post, last month's post, and see what got the highest engagement on there, screenshot it, put it into a Google Drive, put it into a Dropbox, and repurpose that like a month later. Just change the picture, change the caption, turn it into a video, turn it into a swipe file, whatever it is. But you guys can literally recycle and repurpose your guys' content because it's really good. It got good engagement. It showed us, the data showed us on there. Okay. So recycle, repurpose your guys' content. So this is the 7 different posts that we found like really, really works well that you guys can literally post on your guys' Facebook and Instagram. So I'd like to know in the chat, out of these 7 posts, which one can you really see yourself even tomorrow testing out? Is it the connection? Is it the value, the results, transformation, hand raise, process and milestones, or even recycling and repurposing? Dr. John, number 1, connection. Jeremy, values. Okay, good. Good. Okay, guys, got about 5 minutes here. I'm going to zip through this. So again, now we have those 7 different posts that you guys can actually put into action. Okay. So now what we got to figure out is the modality. What is your strong suit with creating content? Is it writing? Is it video? Or is it audio? Okay. So let's just say for this example, somebody's strong suit is video. Okay, cool. Now the platform, right? What platform do you want to use it on? Do you want to use it on like, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, podcast, blog, email? For this example, let's just say we're going to go on, YouTube. Okay. So now we have our modality, we have our platform, and we just figured out that we're going to go on YouTube. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to figure out on YouTube how we can utilize that modality and that strength. So obviously, yeah, video, we can do with that. Okay. What we could also do with this is we can, use our modality and our strength for video, on stories as well too. Okay. We can go live like on Facebook and Instagram. Okay. So do you guys see where I'm going with this? So we're figuring out what that modality is, what the platform is. And now we're just figuring out what can we do with this modality and platform to be able to use that and get more attention and more eyeballs on our brand. Okay. And I know I'm zipping through this. So now you guys need a content planner to really make this easy and not pull your hair out or get gray hairs. Okay. So again, frequency, how many times a week do you guys want to post? So let's just say maybe it's like 3 times a week. Platform. Okay. We'll say Instagram just to make things easy. So what we're going to do here now is be like, okay, we're going to decide to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And right here where it says the post style, guys, that's where you guys are going to go back up here to the 6 different posts that I talked about, or 7 different posts. And you're just going to choose whatever post style you guys want to do. So let's say, for example, you guys want to do connection. Cool. We're going to do a connection post. Platform. Cool. We're going to post on Instagram. The creative now. What's the creative you guys want to do right here? Is it a video, picture, reel, swipe, written, story, infographic? We'll say we're going to do a swipe file. And that's how you guys put together your guys' content calendar based off of your guys' strong suits, your modality, and then choosing the platform, having a frequency, and just making life easy. After that, it's just the name of the game is consistency. Just show it every single day if you need to, every single week, every single month, every single year, putting in the work, getting people to know, like, and trust you, and getting your guys' really good work out there so that you guys have people that are going to raise their hands and be ready to sit there and buy from you guys or get your guys' help. Okay. Whew, that was probably the fastest, zip through that whole entire content lesson, but hopefully I delivered value to you guys. And again, just Celeste, thank you for having us on here. I think Eric had to just leave really quick, but hopefully we provided some value to you guys with just really, building an online brand and using content to gain attention.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Chris. That was amazing. So I think, did we go back and answer Jeremy's question?
Yeah, I can go back and answer his question. And then really quick, guys, this is our book right here too. If we go super in depth on like your offer, your messaging, your audience, all that type of stuff. So that's our gift to you guys if you guys want the digital version, audio or PDF. So Jeremy
Awesome.
said, what would be the benchmark to move from phase 2 to phase 3? So phase 2, if I recall, it was adding another channel on there. And then phase 3. So the benchmark will be on there, Jeremy. I mean, it's hard to be honest. Like there's really no benchmark, it's like, it just really depends on your skill level with it and your confidence, right? So an analogy I can use is like, let's just say I went into the gym and I was training like, 2 days a week. Okay. So I would know to where it's like, my body would probably not be as sore. I'd be more confident, more motivated to want to get in the gym a little bit more and add a third or fourth day. So kind of the same thing with you. If you're posting content and you master like that first phase, like 1 and 2, and you feel confident, you're in that mood, that creative mood to add another channel, post a little bit more, that would be the benchmark. The other benchmark I can say is like, if you're getting really good engagement, then that's probably a good sign that your content's really good. So let's up the frequency. Let's add another channel on there. So hopefully that makes sense.
Absolutely. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending your time with us today, Chris, both you and Eric. And hopefully we will be seeing you guys at the conference. I believe that you'll probably, it looks like, have a workshop coaching the coaches to coach. So thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you guys later. Thank you guys so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks.